Hello and welcome to my video. My name is Charles Bianco. I'm a licensed real estate associate broker here in the New York and Long Island area. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to use Zillow to see what your home is worth in today's market. Now, I'm making the assumption that you do not have a valid or an actual real estate license. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. You would be using the licensed resources that we have at our fingertips to get the most accurate valuation of a property we're going to visit. However, in your case, you are not licensed, so you have to use what's given. And one of those things is usually ChatGPT, which unfortunately ChatGPT just doesn't do the job. As a matter of fact, it does a terrible job. And I go into that in an upcoming video as to why they do such a terrible job. But in the meantime, Zillow is kind of a second place winner. So on screen, you see a ticker down below. You can make a 30-minute no obligation appointment to speak with me on the phone one-on-one to learn more about your real estate needs and how I can help you. You also have me, of course, here, and you have the Zillow website off to, well, that side, the other side. Yeah, that side over there. So with that being said, let me go ahead and jump right on into this and load up the title, which is How New Yorkers and Long Islanders Can Use Zillow to See What Their Home is Worth Today. Now, I also invite you to take notes by pausing or rewinding. I do recommend it for this video. Now, let's just jump into it. Without further ado, I'm going to maximize the screen. That is Zillow.com. And in this situation, we're going to imagine that you are the owner of a 3-bed, 2-bath ranch-style property located in Coram, New York. You want to find out what the value of your home is, and that is the example home. Now, if that home does not fit where you live, then you can obviously make the adjustments as we go, but stick around because at the very end, you're going to see how it looks value-wise and how I got there, and you can even make the adjustments, and I'll show you, kind of give you an idea how to do that too if you're not a ranch 3-bed, 2-bath. So I'm going to maximize this on my end so I can see it. I may freeze in the bottom corner, just ignore that. Okay, so here we are. First thing you do on Zillow.com, enter your city, town, whatever, Coram it is. We click on it. Now what it's going to do is it's going to bring us to the next screen. It's going to show us the boundary lines for Coram in New York, and it's going to show us existing properties for sale marked by red markers. So obviously, when you're comping a home, the one thing you want to remember when you're comping a home is that you never use properties that are currently for sale. Properties that are for sale are not an indicator of what your home is worth. A lot of people make this mistake. The reason being because bank appraisers do not consider homes that are currently on the market because homeowners can ask whatever price they want. Banks rely on what has sold because those are definitive final numbers, not an asking for sale price. So going back into the Zillow website, we have here, and we have options here along the top that we're going to refer to. Get this out of here. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to change for sale to sold, and we're going to apply. That's going to turn the red markers into yellow markers. And you can see we've got a ton here. We've got over 1,300 results here. So we're going to have to narrow that down very much if we want to do this properly. Price. Now, what I suggest, I think everybody out there generally has an idea of what their home is worth. And by an idea, I mean within $100,000 range or less. If you truly don't know, you can leave this alone, but don't know as in what your home is worth. But if you do, put it in here with a $50,000 spread on either side. So for example, if you feel the home is worth $650,000, or let's just even say $600,000, then you would put, for $600,000 estimation, a $550,000 minimum and a $650,000 maximum. So let's go back into Zillow and let's put in $550,000 and $650,000 and hit apply. Now you'll notice one thing when you did that, it's highlighted this area here. So I was pretty much on point with Coram. The majority of homes that sold in Coram have been between these two numbers, really down to $500,000. So my estimation of between $550,000 and $650,000 is pretty spot on. We've now dropped from 1,300 results to 269. But you have a 3-bed, 2-bath house. So now you're going to click on beds and baths. You're going to click on 3+, but you're also now going to click on use exact match because you don't want to be matched up with homes that have 4 or 5 or 2 bedrooms. We want to comp this as accurately and as closely as possible to your home. Unfortunately, we can't do the same thing for bathrooms So we'll just choose 2+, and we'll try our best to eliminate the homes that have 3 and 4 bathrooms. Hit apply. Now we're going to the property type. We're going to deselect all because you have a house. You don't have a townhome or multifamily, etc. So we're going to hit apply. Now, if you did have a townhouse or multifamily or whatever, you can certainly select that instead as part of the adjustments you'd make. But in this case, we have a 3-bed, 2-bath ranch style home. We're down to 89 results. Now we click on property type, which we did already. I'm sorry, we go to more filters. Max HOA doesn't mean anything. Parking spots, this does not really apply to a single family or multifamily home. We can leave this alone. But if you have a garage, you can click must have garage. Now, if you don't have a garage, then leave it alone. The numbers change. We're going to say you don't have a garage on this particular property. Square footage really means how many interior square footage your house has. So we're going to pretend you have 1,250 square feet. What I like to do is say 500 square feet in either direction to keep it as close as possible, since you have to choose a minimum and a maximum. So if you have 1,250, 700, I'm sorry, I had the wrong thing there. Lot size is the property. Oh no, square feet, here we are. Sorry, everybody. So 750 minimum interior square feet and 1,500 interior square feet. Because again, just to recap very quickly, we're estimating 1,250 interior square feet. So you want to have a buffer of 500 square feet either direction, which amounts to these two numbers. Lot size, let's say you have a typical 50 by 100 lot, which amounts to 5,000 square feet. So Zillow gives you a 4,000 square foot as a minimum, and it has a 7,500 square foot as the next one above 5,000. And unfortunately, as you can see, you're out of luck there because there are no results within those two lot sizes. So let's just change it to no minimum and no maximum for now, and look at how many comps we have potentially here in front of us. Year built, we can leave alone. Do you have a basement, whether it's finished or unfinished? You would click this, and now you have options of finished or unfinished. Let's say your basement is finished and is furnished and looks nice and updated. We'll unclick the unfinished, and these are the current properties that are alleged comps for you. Single story, we can leave that alone. 55 plus community, unless you live in one, we can go ahead and just hit don't show. The other amenities are important, but Zillow limits what you can choose. It doesn't ask you the type of AC, just whether you do or don't. You can always check this if you'd like, but now look what happens. You'll lose a bunch of comps, so we're going to leave it unchecked because we're going to assume that these houses have some kind of AC. Pools really don't affect value, contrary to popular belief. In New York specifically, pools don't really affect value on property. If we're in Florida, much different story. And a waterfront, we're just going to say there's no waterfront because, as you can see, we're landlocked here, so we leave that alone. You can adjust this in your case if it applies. If you have a city view, a mountain view, or water view, landlocked here where you are, God bless. Park, if you have a park view, you can always include that also. Now, this is a key one. Sold in last. You want to choose within 6 months. Anything greater than 6 months is a problem. And you can see already, unfortunately, in Coram using Zillow, there are no comps. You can extend it to 12 months, and now you've got 2 comps. 12 months is really pushing it. You don't want to go beyond 12 months. 6 months or less, the fewer, the better. Once you get to 6 months, a bank appraiser stops there. If there really aren't any comps at all, you can stretch it to 9 months, but Zillow doesn't give you a 9 months. So we could choose 12. There is a 24 and a 36-month option with Zillow, but you want absolutely nothing to do with those options because a bank appraiser will never go back that far. But for the sake of showing you how this is done, I'm going to break the rules and I'm going to choose 24 months so that we have at least 4 comps here to look at. Hit apply. Now, before I go any further, there's something I need to tell you. When it comes to Zillow, unfortunately, is a very poor way to comp a property. I understand that because you don't have a license, this is really the only option you have. I understand also that ChatGPT is a thing, but ChatGPT has shown in many cases to be not only flawed, but extremely flawed in giving people a false sense of comfort and a false sense of confidence when it comes to valuing a property because of what it says in text on screen. Believe me when I tell you, you want to avoid AI as much as possible for this. I would rather you choose Zillow as your source than any type of AI, period, end of sentence, for accuracy purposes. Now, what I also want to tell you is that when it comes to Zillow, Your home, if it's located here, let me bring up the screen real quick. If your home is located down here, these comps probably don't apply to you. If your home is located up here where the hand currently is, then the 595 probably applies, the 570 might apply, and the 565 and 610 do not apply. And this, ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, is exactly why you need my resources. When I sit with my clients to tell them the value of their home, I bring a 15+ page report that gives you all the details in one shot. Give me a moment here because I do need to show my information on screen. Contact me and I will give you a full-on report as to what an appraiser is likely to say about your property versus this guessing game. But if you're doing this for your own information, or maybe you're thinking about selling on your own and you need some kind of evidence to reinforce a price, I guess you could do Zillow here as well. So now that we have our comps, what do we do with them? First things first, we take the properties that best look like yours. Now remember, we're talking about a ranch property. Your home is a 3-bed, 2-bath ranch. This property right here is not a ranch property, so we can eliminate it. This property right here looks like it's a split ranch, which is not a traditional ranch as we described it, so we can eliminate this one right here. This property here is more of a colonial style property and is not a ranch. We can eliminate it. This home right here is indeed a ranch property and is the only property comp we have at the moment, which is located at 82 Samantha in Drive in Coram, which is this property down here. So if you live here, then you might be out of luck when it comes to Zillow comping your property. If you want to stretch and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this for what it is. My house looks like this property. I'm going to click on it to take a look. This is part of the process, by the way. You take a look. This is the house. How does it look in comparison to the way yours looks? You're then going to take a look. Look at the Zestimate here real quick, 668, but it's sold for 610. If the Zestimate were accurate in terms of what the value of the property is, it would be very close to this number, but it's not. So another reason why you really can't use Zillow, at least from a Zestimate standpoint for sure. Well, let's scroll down further and take a look at the amenities, the interior features of the property, facts and features. And you can see here the different facts and features that you need to look into in comparison to your home. So we confirm this 3 beds, 2 baths. There is a finished basement. It has gas heat and has central air. So this property had sold for $605,000. Was it 605? 610, I'm sorry. For $610,000 has these amenities. How does your house compare? It has 1,500 square feet. So we said in the example we gave, your imaginary house is 1,250. So this house is bigger on the inside. Almost more of a third of an acre of land, has an attached garage, built in 1999, and is in Coram. So looking at all that information, and then of course the exterior picture of the house, you can kind of get an idea of how your property would be up against this property, and you can kind of make a guesstimation as to your home being worth somewhere around the $610,000 mark. But you can always come in contact with me, and I'll be happy to confirm that and provide you greater evidence. Could be worth more, could be worth less, could be worth that, but I'll give you that answer. And in relation to all that, I'd like to also share something with you. In my description, I have a free PDF guide, no strings attached. Just enter your name and your email so I can send it over to you by email automatically, by the way, it comes right to you. And the guide is called How to Sell Your Home in a Changing Market. Markets change all the time. Markets, whether it's a seasonal change or some type of geographical or political or whatever change there is, markets always change. So absolutely get your hands on this guide by going to my description, clicking the link, and getting your copy